He says, when we went to Yazid, and you hear all the story there, one of the chief rabbis of that city, because remember that when you talk about Syria, you're actually talking about Shaam, which is historically the greater Syria, which includes parts of Turkey, present Syria, Jordan, Palestine. So it was a huge territory, and the entire area was part of the Eastern Roman Empire, and they were Christians. So even though Muslims ruled those areas, but there was still sizable, presence of Christians and Jewish people there. So one of the chief rabbis, and this is, remember that Yazid wanted to display his glory and his victory. And therefore he had invited many people there, dignitaries from different backgrounds. So when he says, when Ra'sul Yahud, the head of the Jewish community, came, he asked Yazid, Ma hadha al-Ra's? What is the story behind this head? And he says, Ra'sun kharijiyun, na'udhu billah. He says, this is the head of a rebel who, stood up against me. So he asked him, وَمَنْ هُوَ? What is his name? He says, Al-Hussain. He says, Ibn Man? Whose son is this Hussain? He says, Ibn Ali, son of Ali. وَمَنْ أُمُّهُ? He says, who is the mother of this Hussain? And Yazid says, Fatima. And so this rabbi says, وَمَنْ Fatima? Who is Fatima? Let me just stop here for a moment. There is a Catholic scholar during our days who teaches, not the full year, but sometimes he goes to this college in Vatican to educate his own people, the priests. And I had an opportunity to meet him just for half an hour in South Africa when I visited there 2 years or 3 years ago. And it's interesting that this person is interested in Islam and Shia history. His first focus of research about Islam was Karbala and Imam Hussain alayhi salam. But then he diverted his attention halfway. Because whenever he started studying about Imam Hussain alayhi salam, again and again he would see the name Fatima. And he became so interested that he stopped his project about Karbala and Imam Hussain and started focusing on Bibi Fatima. And he actually came up with a very good book on Fatima Zahra salawatullah alayha. And then he started working on, Bibi Zainab. And so it's interesting that, this chief of the chief rabbi there is asking this question, Hussain ibn Man ummuhu, when he's told Fatima, he says, Waman Fatima. This is where Yazid says, Bintu Muhammad. Again, he was unsure. He says, when you say Bint Muhammad, the daughter of Muhammad, Nabiyukum? Are you referring to Muhammad who is your Nabi? And he says, Naam. This is where he says, La jazakumullahu khayra. May Allah will never ever give you any goodness. Bil'amsi kana nabiyukum wal yawm qataltu ibn bintihi. Yesterday you had him as a Nabi, and today you are killing the son of his daughter? وَيْهَكْ إِنَّ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ دَاوُودَ النَّبِي نَيِّفًا وَسَبْعِينَ أَبًا. He says, woe to you. Between me, because he is from the descendants of the priests, from Ishaq, this rabbi. He is basically Sadat of Bani Israel, if I may use that term, to make it easier to understand. He says, between me and Dawood alayhi salam, we are 70 generations apart. فَإِذَا رَأَتْنِي الْيَهُودِ كَفَّرَتْ لِي. Even now, although I am 70 generations away from Dawood, because I am from that family, even when my people see me, they actually bow down in respect for me. And this is your Prophet's grandson. Look at the relationship and the closeness there in time. And this is what you had done. Mala ila tasht. Then he goes close, gets down on the level of the plate which was there, or the tray on which the head of Imam Hussain was put. Qabbala al-Ra's. He kissed the forehead of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. And then he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna jadduka Muhammadun Rasulullah. Salawat. خرج وعمر يزيد بقتله. And he left the darbar of Yazid, but Yazid realized the implication of what he had done just by that action. So he actually sent his own people to kill this fellow. And this is where, A'mash, when he heard this narration from this soldier of Umar ibn Sa'ad, that he is saying that I will ask forgiveness from God, but I know that He will not forgive me. This is where A'mash now says, تَنَحَّ أَنِّي لَا تُهْرِقِ بِنَارِكِ. Stay away from me, because I don't want to be burned by the fire of Jahannam through you. Salawat pradhe ek baar. Abu Makhnaf has a narration about a Catholic priest, again in Damascus, in the darbar of Yazid, probably in the same gathering, where he came in, and this is interesting, he actually saw a vision before he came to the darbar of Yazid. Because when he went in and then he asked, whose head is this? The whole conversation was very similar to the one Yazid had with this Jewish rabbi. He says, أعلم أني كنت الساعة في البيعة. I was in my church, in my temple or the place of worship, and I saw a very loud voice. And this is kind of a vision that he saw. And when I looked, I saw a person, a very handsome person coming down, as if, there was nur around his face. And he was not alone. There were angels surrounding him. So I asked some of them, who is this? And they said, this is Rasulullah, and the malaika are coming there in order to mourn the shahadat of his son Hussain bin Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. And this is where, based on that vision that he saw, he turns to Yazid and he says, don't disgrace the head in this way. Because the Mal'oon was sitting on his throne, and the tray which had the head of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was down. And this is where, he started then, in a way, cursing Yazid. And Yazid basically gave the command even to kill this Christian fellow. And this is where we have to realize that when and this is before he also, like others, ended up saying the Shahadatain of accepting the Islam through Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Salawat.